Frame hold photography.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is finally here, and it's time to explore the vast world of feudal Japan for yourself. Thanks so much to Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed community team for providing me early access to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm about 20 hours into the game, and I am so impressed by all of the new features. The dynamic weather and season cycle is gorgeous. The exploration is immersive, the combat and stealth feel excellent, and photo mode has been completely upgraded and overhauled. In this video, I will explain the new settings in photo mode, how to use them effectively, and how the photo mode in Shadows compares to previous Assassin's Creed games. Let's get started. As in previous Assassin's Creed games, you can activate photo mode by either clicking in both controller sticks on console or hitting F3 on PC. Earlier versions of photo mode had two steps. First, it launched into composition mode, where you could freely move around the camera. Then, you could switch over to edit mode to adjust your settings. In Assassin's Creed Shadows, this process has completely changed. The photo mode tool in Shadows combines the composition and edit modes into one step. You can move, rotate, and crane the camera up and down while navigating and adjusting your settings using the D-pad or arrow keys. I must admit, the changes to the controls have taken me some time to get used to, but the features packed inside this new tool are worth the slight learning curve. Now, let's review the 4 new settings tabs in photo mode: camera, lens, filters, and decorations. The camera tab has 3 settings: camera roll, focal length, and cycle grids. Camera roll allows you to tilt the camera up to 90 degrees to the left or right. Adding a slight tilt to your shot creates a feeling of unbalance and uneasiness, known as a Dutch angle. Maxing the setting to 90 degrees enables you to take vertical portraits. In previous Assassin's Creed photo modes, the zoom tool allowed you to create a wider or narrower angle of view. In real-world photography, this is known as adjusting the focal length of your lens. In Assassin's Creed Shadows' new photo mode, this feature is appropriately named and allows you to choose the focal length of your in-game camera. Different focal lengths create different angles of view. Shorter lenses, like 18mm lenses, have a wide angle of view, whereas longer lenses, like 100mm lenses, have a narrow angle of view. Setting the focal length at a lower value will make your photo feel like it has a lot of depth, as distances between objects are exaggerated. Setting the focal length at a high value flattens the image, as perceived distances are minimized. Lastly, the cycle grid setting allows you to choose an on-screen guide to help you compose your captures. My favorite is the rule of thirds, which states that you should place the subject of your shot on one of the intersecting points of the grid. The Lens tab allows you to adjust the focus and grain of your image. The term depth of field refers to the region between the closest and farthest elements in the frame that appear in focus. Turning on the depth of field setting lets you manually adjust your aperture and focal distance. How do these two settings affect the sharpness of your photo? Well, in real-world photography, the aperture of a camera controls how much light reaches the camera's sensor. We measure the size of the aperture's opening in f-stops. A wide-open aperture has a small f-stop value, and thus a very shallow depth of field where not much is in focus. A nearly closed aperture has a high f-stop value, and a deep depth of field where almost everything is in focus. The focal distance is the distance between the lens and its focus point. In previous Assassin's Creed games, you could dictate the focus point with the on-screen cursor. In Shadows, you can dictate how many meters away from the camera the focus point of your image is. You can turn on the autofocus option if you don't want to worry about fine-tuning all of these settings. The last setting in the Lens tab is Grain, where you can adjust whether any visual noise is present and how intense it is. All real-world cameras have a bit of grain, so I prefer to turn the setting on to a low value. The Filters tab features many settings from previous photo modes, plus a few new additions. As in previous games, you can apply filters to your image to broadly adjust its look. You can also use new effects filters, which completely change the game's style. Another new setting is brightness, which is right above exposure. While both settings adjust the lights and darks of your image, they do so slightly differently. Exposure targets the highlights of your image. Positive values will make the highlights brighter and wider, while negative values will lessen these highlights. Conversely, brightness affects the overall picture and will lift or lower the highlights, midtones, and shadows equally. So, if you want to target the brightest parts of your image, adjust the exposure setting. But if you want to tweak everything equally, adjust the brightness setting. As in previous photo modes, you can change your capture's temperature, tint, saturation, and contrast. If you'd like to know more about what these settings do, I suggest checking out my Ultimate Photo Mode Guide, which is linked in the description below. Assassin's Creed Shadows does not include the bloom and fog settings that previous photo modes had. To create similar effects in Shadows, you must rely on the dynamic weather for foggy environments, and play around with natural sunlight and your exposure settings for nice bloom effects off shiny surfaces. While it's sad to see these features removed from photo mode, I understand that the AC team wanted to create a more realistic, true-to-life camera tool, and, much like real photography, you must wait for the right weather, lighting, and action to snap a picture. Lastly, the Decorations tab is filled with fun settings for adding borders, stickers, and vignettes to your photos. The updated vignette setting allows you to customize your vignette's intensity and size. I found that increasing the intensity and size of the vignette in dark environments creates near black backgrounds for Naoe and Yasuke to peer out from. The Decorations tab also offers various Japanese and Animus-themed frames you can add to your image, plus a new sticker feature. You can now add up to one sticker to your image and adjust its position, rotation, and scale. I'm excited to see how the community uses these decoration tools to spice up their photo mode captures. Now that you know how all of the new settings and tools function, you're ready to start taking awesome photo mode captures in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Thanks again to Ubisoft and the Assassin's Creed community team for granting me early access to the game so I can make this tutorial before launch day. I can't wait to see all of the photos the community will take in Shadows. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I'm always happy to help. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.